I think a lot of us talked about how the second Joker movie, Joker, forgot the subtitle to that movie, whatever. We talked about how bad that movie was gonna be, and the decision to make it a musical was quite a very bizarre decision. And a lot of us were also speculating that like the director made a decision just to I guess get back at Warner Brothers or something like that, or just to show how unenthusiastic he was about directing a second one. Personally, in my opinion, I didn't think the Joker movie needed a sequel. I thought it was just fine the way it was, and it was a solid movie. And the movie ended up making billions of dollars in the box office. And the fact from the decision to make it a musical to the very bizarre casting of Lady Gaga to play Harley Quinn, it's like you would think that the director was on some sort of I don't know, a protest or something against Warner Brothers, because he really didn't want to do the second one. So it's like he made it his job to give him the worst Joker movie possible. And it ended up costing Warner Brothers tons of money. They lost money because of this movie. And it's so bad that Joker 2 and even Madam Web ended up scoring the most Razzie Awards nomination in 2025. And if you don't know what the Razzie Awards are, it's basically an award ceremony for the worst movies ever made of the following year, or the past year, excuse me. It's not something to be proud of, honestly. Like some of the worst movies, like Halle Berry's Catwoman, for example, was one of those movies that received a few Razzie Awards, and so did Morbius. Those are just a few examples of superhero slash anti-hero movies that have gotten the worst, the most Razzie Awards ever. But I have the article here to talk about it, and it's quite a doozy because I one, it's quite hilarious. And two, it's a little sad when movies fail in the box office, honestly. So Todd Phillips' Joker 2 continues to break all kinds of records in the negative sense, securing the joint most number of Razzie nominations in 2025. And the sequel, released 5 years after its predecessor Joker, garnered abysmal reviews upon its release in October 2024. Moreover, it bombed at the global box office, amassing a mere $207.5 million on an estimated budget of $190 to $200 million. It made its budget back, but barely. It lost money. You have to figure a movie like this, for it to break even. Let's just say the movie is a $200 million budget film, right? For a movie like this to break even at all, it would have to make anywhere upwards of between $600 to $700 million just to break even. We're talking about covering, of course, the budget of making the movie, the marketing costs, and pretty much to make the differences. Just to, I guess, to compensate for basically the costs of these things. It's a lot. When movie studios are banking on a movie's success and the budget is ballooned to $200 million plus $300 million or whatever, there's a likelihood that the movie might fail. That's why when I hear about these movies like Marvel movies and whatnot costing upwards of $300 million, $400 million because it's already happened already. And I think the Captain America movie that's coming up, I think that was about a $375 million budget film, and that movie would have to earn at least $1 billion in the box office just for it to to break even. And we're not even hearing good things about the early screenings for that movie, but that's a story for another time. So the Joker 2 scores 7 nominations in the 2025 Razzie Awards. The Golden Raspberry Awards recently confirmed its nomination for the worst films of 2024 alongside other categories, decided by 1,202 Razzie members, which included movies enthusiasts, film critics, and journalists. The list featured Joker 2 in a whopping 7 different groups. Apart from Joker 2, Sony's Madam Web, popular video game adaptation Borderlands, the Ronald Reagan biopic Reagan, and Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis also featured in Razzie's Worst Picture of 2024 category. Joaquin Phoenix, who won the Best Actor Academy Award for his take on the clown Prince and Crime in 2019, and Lady Gaga also made it to the infamous awards Worst Leading Actor and Actresses categories respectively. And I have not seen, Joker 2, but I've heard nothing but negative things constantly from people that I do know, and also from content creators alike who've seen this movie. And I think all of them had the same general consensus that this movie was the biggest piece of doo-doo water they've ever seen. It was the worst doo-doo water that they've ever seen. And I'm afraid of wasting at least 2 hours of my time, of my day, to watch this movie. And it wouldn't even cost me anything but my time. And time is just something you can't get back. Additionally, the worst director category sees Todd Phillips, accompanied by Madam Web's S.J. Clarkson and the legendary Francis Ford Coppola, among others. The remaining 3 Razzie brackets that feature Joker 2 comprise the worst screenplay, the worst prequel, remake, ripoff, or sequel, as well as the worst screen combo categories. While still behind Joker 2, Madam Web, Borderlands, Reagan, and Megalopolis have also made waves at the 2025 Razzie Awards, securing 6 nominations each. Fans will get to learn the winners of the 45th Annual Razzie Awards on March 1st, which is potentially the day when this year's Oscar will also take place. Does anybody out there who watches the channel or just watches YouTube even care about the Oscars anymore? I feel like the Oscars is something that's really died down and also has dipped in when it comes to quality. The Oscars have been garbage. Like, honestly, like the thing about celebrities is that they have no value. The quality and the value of the celebrity has dropped drastically with things that are happening in the world right now. Nobody cares about celebrities anymore. Nobody cares about what they have to say right now. As it is, the way we view it is that celebrities are just people that do things that are on screen or in our music or whatever. They're just people that we see every day who have a specific talent. So why should we have to listen to celebrities? Why do we have to watch the Oscars? Nobody cares about the Oscars anymore. Oscars is just garbage. It's become this political propaganda thing, and it's just the worst. Nobody cares about it anymore. Whenever I want to see a movie, I'm quite picky with it now, to be honest with you. Movies just don't excite me as much as they used to when I was a kid. There you have it, Joker 2, nominated for a bunch of Razzie Awards. What are your thoughts? And which movie would you say is worse, Joker 2 or Madam Web? Comment down below with your thoughts. And as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the notifications so you all don't miss anything. And as always, I will see you all in the next comic panel.